last week I kind of got caught up in the refinement event and lost track of time, and before I knew it, it was too late to start streaming, so my apologies for that. So before we get busy started, I'll get this recruitment mission finished, and then we'll head off to Hotanow. Oh my goodness, the brain's not working apparently. Head up to Hotanow and start the next campaign area, which will be Mount Hotanow, so probably it's not a hard area, but it can be long-winded and annoying. Definitely not the most exciting area of the game. So yeah, I found on my original limit playthrough when I got there, by that point I just wanted the campaign finished so I could get to level 70 and start developing my character properly.
Setting up camp here? Your funeral.
Okay, I hope you all have fun with Port Bello campaign. So if you've still got any campaign currencies, you hand it into this bloody. No, I hope people are in. Hand it into the earth, this guy by earth, or... Oh no, this is actually bloody... a Halloween vendor. Ah, it's still the earth. That's quite surprising. If you got any bloody more currency though, and them in before it's too late, because there'll be a Underdark campaign. ×2 Underdark campaign currency coming up in a couple of weeks in December. So, it'd definitely be a good time to see what date is it. It'd definitely be a good time now, guys. A little tip for you. Come the 7th of December, when this event starts, the ×2 Underdark campaign currency. The price, if you haven't farmed, let's see the campaigns. I'll show you now. Underdark. If you haven't farmed these for the 3rd, 4th and 5th boons of the Underdark campaign, the Drow hunting tips book, which is easy enough to get. All you do for that is to do demonic encounters in places. Well, in most places you can get them in the Well of Dragons, get them from demonic encounters in the Dread Ring, at the Stronghold. Any demonic encounters, it doesn't matter where they are, and the Drow hunting tips tend to drop from them, but they also drop from the Throne of the Dwarven Gods. The Dwarven Spelunking is probably the most annoying of the 3 books that you need, because this one only drops in Prophecy of Madness, and Prophecy of Madness is so hard to farm because the drop rate on it is broken. For some reason it actually gives you better rewards for getting bronze than it does gold. I don't know why. That in itself is madness to me as far as I'm concerned. And the On Madness book you get from running Demogorgon. So I think you've got there's a higher drop rate on the master version than there is the normal, but the normal does drop it as well. So if you are unable to farm these by normal means anyway, guys, No, I mean the Dwarven Spelunking, like I said, especially, it's only Prophecy of Madness that drops that book, so that's probably going to end up being the book that you will have to buy off the trade house. I'd recommend you start buying them now before the event starts, because otherwise the price during the event is going to actually go up through the roof. So start stocking up now, guys, if you need those books. But you'll get, you'll be getting plenty of campaign currency. I'm really looking forward to the end of that campaign. And stocking up on my greater demonic keys to farm Master Demagogue on would be awesome. But yeah, there's also another refinement event coming up in the 28th of December as well. So I'd also recommend, they did say that they were only going to do one more, but clearly they're starting to change their mind, because I've noticed a lot of people have started to give up on this bloody game. I think they're trying to encourage more people to come back. Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. In the dark, sounds of odds, times 2 professions, enchantment, sharp power. There we go, in refinement points of thought. So 28th of December to the 4th of January. It'd be a good idea, guys.
Protector's Enclave needs your help.
Up again on your refinement items to make good use of it. Firing.
We have reports from a dwarven expedition to the Mount Hotanow volcano. They've come under attack by elemental beings, including fire giants and a red dragon. Dwarfs report that the fire giant leader called Gormoth the Twisted seeks some power he believes is buried beneath the volcano. The last time Mount Hotanow erupted and nearly destroyed Neverwinter. We know the elementals are hostile and fear they will make the volcano erupt once more if they aren't stopped.
Guys, we'll get started though while I think about it, because I was busy during the refinement event. I didn't stream last week because I lost track of time, but I managed to hit 70 and I've started equipping all my stuff I've been collecting. Still have to work on getting the trousers for the Drowcraft chain coat. But other than that, I've started equipping everything. Now, once you hit level 70, you'll be able to start equipping artifact equipment. Not just these artifacts, but offhand, main hand, shield, neck, waist. All of them have artifact equipment that you can equip and upgrade. I'm currently equipping the Howling set for my weapon and shield. Now, the reason for this, I know a lot of people are going to turn around and say, "Oh, there's better bloody weapons. Why are you using them?" La 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 la. Well, unfortunately, guys, some of the best weapons on the game to use don't actually unlock until the end game content. Like, for example, where is it now? Cloak Ascendancy. So, this area, the River District, it unlocks the option of farming, where are they? Artifact equipment. Oathkeeper. Another Oathkeeper set. This is a really good mason shield. Let's see. Oathkeeper set. If you dodge, block, sprint, or shadow slip, you gain overcharge. Defense, which decreases your incoming damage by 10% and increases your run speed by 15% for 10 seconds. Say, if you use an encounter power, you gain overcharge attack, which increases your outgoing damage by 10% and heals you for 15% of your health over 10 seconds. This is an awesome weapon set if you're building a tank. absolutely awesome weapon set if you want to build do a paladin tank build. What I was going to go for on my other character, which I'm probably going to go for on this one. I mean, I am going to get them just to have a different build, a little change now and again. Is this one? Say the Fey set. Reason being, because I'm building a healer. When you use an encounter power, you become Fey Touch, which it restores 10% of your AP as well as increase your outgoing damage by 3% and your outgoing healing by 6% for 10 seconds. You can only be Fey Touched once every 30 seconds. Now, attack-wise, a lot of people will turn around and swear by the Titan Steel because there's actually no offensive difference as far as the stats go between these and the Titan Steel. The difference being is your play style. Now, if you're building a healer, but you're planning on spending a lot of time doing your own thing, you know, not planning on grouping up with people, you know, doing dungeon runs, you know, in public queues. So if you're not going to be grouping up with a load of people who you know their builds, then this is probably the better set to use, because if you don't know their builds, you know, you're not going to get the healing bonus from the Titan Steel. The Titan Steel is an awesome set, and there's no offensive difference between this set and the Titan Steel. The only difference is the fact that this set only does outgoing damage and outgoing healing, but it gives you more outgoing damage and healing than the Titan Steel does. The Titan Steel also gives you defensive. It's like it gives you 2% offense, 2% defense, and 2% outgoing healing. But that increases if you're grouping up in a party with people, and you're all equipped with the Titan Steel set, then it stacks. It stacks. So every person in the group, if you've got a full group equipped with Titan Steel, you get like a 10% increase to damage, healing, and defense. So in that regard, if you're building your character to play as a team, the Titan Steel is the best. But if you're planning to go around playing on your own, I recommend the Fey Touch. Switch that out a sec. What one do I need? Okay, now, as for my character, I've currently got the Howling Broadsword and Howling Kite Shield equipped. The reason being for this, and the reason why I'm upgrading them as well, is because, I mean, part of it is to do with the fact that I'm just a completionist and I love doing this anyway. So I'll get them to maximum blooming quality, and then, you know, just for collector's purposes. But one thing that some people, especially people new to the game, don't realise is that even if you upgrade these, their experience, the refining points that you've put into them can actually be used to upgrade other weapons. So if later on down the line, it's like, don't go out of your way, don't think you have to go out of your way to get the weapons that you want from minute one, because well, for a start, if you leave yourself with nothing at all, you're not going to be able to survive the areas to get these other weapons. It's like the Oathkeeper set you get from Icewind Dale, and that area is horrible. You'll need at least at least a 9 to 10k item level to be able to survive the area. Like I said, the Fey set is only available in the River District, Oathkeeper's relics only available Icewind Dale. Both areas are nasty for low-level players. Oh, thank you for agreeing, Cookie. I really do appreciate that. You know, so don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. Use the opportunity to upgrade some of these, because these here can actually be either farmed in the Elemental Evil campaign, you know, from the different areas. Hello, son. You know, you can farm them in the different areas. You know, these ones from Spinwood Rise. I mean, you need 100 air motes to get them. Say, but you can buy. Where are they? When does that?
Do you have Astro?
No, this is trade back. Merchant one.
Hail adventure!
You can buy these. Air Seekers 1, Fire Seekers 1, blah blah blah. These ones will make it. They got 4 uses. 4 uses, and they last 30 minutes per use. So you've got an hour, 2 hours, should I say, worth of farming out of them, and they make it so they drop motes for each of the areas depending on which one you get. So if you're gonna farm Spinwood Rise's heroic counters for the air motes to get the weapons, then you'll just buy a couple of Air Seekers ones. As a paladin, you don't have much offensive capability, so you're probably going to need about 2, maybe 3 wands, depending on how high attack power you've got. But if you're not willing to do that, then there is another way to obtain them. All you've got to do is your professions. You need, for the paladin, platesmithing and weaponsmithing up to level 25, and then you will be able to make them using your professions. Which is why I say, start out with these. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the Howling set is probably the best set for the Paladin healer. I mean, if you're building a tank, then I'd probably go with the Earth set, Earth or Water, one of the two. But as far as the healer goes, I go for the Wind set solely on the grounds. I mean, even the tank can benefit from the Wind set. It's simple because the Paladin is the only character in the game that doesn't actually have any rushing capabilities. You'll see, like, a great weapons fighter could sprint. All the mages, like the Cleric, Control Wizard, Scourge Warlock, have dodge capabilities that speed them up. Trickster Rogue can dodge roll. The Guardian Fighter has an ability that it can speed up the whole party. So all the other characters other than the Paladin have the option of speeding themselves up. The Paladin doesn't have that. But with this set, you can actually get a boost. I'll show you now. Boost to your speed for a few seconds, and it recharges every 10 seconds. So if you get left behind in a dungeon or something, having this set equipped is good because it will help you keep up with everyone. Hotanow. Hello, son. Come to say hello, my baby. You come to say hello of you, my baby. Come on in.
Are we lost? No, wait. Yep, definitely lost.
Another thing I've equipped you guys is the Pilgrim Restoration set. Now, the feet and the helmet you can only get off the Zen store. You get the helmet through the buying keys. 20 keys and the helmet, I think, for 2,500 Zen. And then the feet you get by buying the Cholt. The companion section. There we go, Cholt Hunter. 2,500 Zen also gives you the boots for the set. You get a choice. Yeah, you get a choice between if you want the assault if you want the restoration boots or the ward boots, let's say paladin. Unfortunately, guys, the helmet is random, so it's like they tend to alternate. If you're buying the keys, the enchanted keys and the pilgrim helmet, 2,250 zen. You know, you might be better off getting it off the Zen market, but you know, not off the Zen market, off the trade house, because people do sell them. But it is random. Once you open it, it either gives you the restoration or the ward helmet. But once you open the second one, it more often than not gives you the alternate one. So you only usually need to open 2 at most to get both helmets. So it's not too bad in that regard. It's still a bit naughty that they don't give you a choice, but it's not too bad. So the restoration set is better than the one you get in Chult itself, which I think is the medic set. So the one you get in Chult itself, I think it's still the same item level, 460, but the stats are slightly lower. The medic set is actually not as good as the restoration set, but it is still a good set. The armor and arms you get from the trade bar merchant. So those you can buy with trade bars. If you've got VIP, you can get enough trade bars to get them just by opening a treasure chest every day. If you don't, and you're buying, if you buy the keys to get the helmet, opening those treasure chests will more than likely give you enough trade bars also to
I don't think
buy them. But don't think you have to spend money if you don't want to. It'll be a lot more of a grind, but you can just bloody trade your astral diamonds for Zen to get them. But you won't be able to buy them off the trade house, because unfortunately when you buy them with trade bars, they automatically bind to account.
Our expedition was a disaster, but we're not out of the fight yet. We came here looking for our history, and instead we found madness and flaming death. We've done our best to monitor and disrupt Gamoth and his elemental forces. But we're miners and explorers, not adventurers. We need the help of someone as powerful as you if we're gonna stop Gamoth's plans. We lost a number of people, and there are those who are still missing. In particular, some members of Geologist Darnay's team were sent to investigate disturbances underground, but never reported back. Should you find any sign of him, tell Geologist Darnay over by the bridge. He'll want to know what's happened to his people. The pressure building under Mount Hotanow threatens another eruption, but Geologist Darnay has a plan to stop it. The Ashen Zombies prowling the burning forest were once dwarven miners who dug venting shafts designed to release pressure. Some of the zombies still carry their old work orders, which can tell us where those vents were. We need you to recover some of those work orders from the Ashen Zombies and take them to Geologist Darnay so he can figure out how to vent the volcano. They mounted an expedition to try and reopen the old mines that exist throughout the...
No idea what happened there, guys, but hey ho. Another thing. Say, one of the sets I'm equipping is the Great Protector set. Yes. Okay, pretty much solely for the reason of how many pieces there are in the set, for one. It's like the Lancer of Revelation, Laura's Home Realm Catalogue, the Great Belt of Wisdom, and the Cloak of the Protector itself. All are all part of the set. I won't be keeping the Whole Realms catalogue equipped, though. I will be equipping a different one and trading it in and out. Oh, excuse me. This though here is one of the main reasons for it, because as a healer, wisdom is very important. It will, which is a good point actually, I haven't increased my stats. Wisdom is very important for your healing capabilities as well as your critical. So increased wisdom will, definitely be a pal. Will give you a total of 15% bonus healing, critical chance, control bonus, control resist bonus. And the Greater Belt of Wisdom is the only one that focuses solely on wisdom, so you can get a maximum of 4-point boost off this rather than splitting it like with the. I mean, another good set is the Tiamat set, but it only gives you 2 points of wisdom and 2 points to intelligence, and intelligence really isn't needed as a paladin. This I equip. I equip this for the AC, because the AC, your armor class, will increase your defensive capabilities. So this I equip more for the AC, the power, and the recovery, because I don't put a lot into my recovery on my booms. So the extra recovery, the deflection is the only one on there that I don't actually use, because Paladin doesn't need deflection, because you will never, because dexterity isn't a primary or secondary stat, you're never going to get your deflection rate up high enough to warrant putting loads into deflection. You should just put it all into defense, because otherwise it's just a waste of stats, because it'll still, even if you spend all your time putting it into deflection, it will still stay, see, 7% chance. It'll still stay too low without the boost from dexterity itself. Gives you, unlike most of them, there's a lot better sets as far as booms go. Like, you've got sets that will give you booms like what's the Tiamat set, I think. So the Great Protector set just gives you increased stats for a set bonus. It gives you increased defense and increased HP, and both of which are very good for a paladin, because they will the HP boost especially is good for the paladin, solely for the reason that a lot of the auras that you use as the paladin rely on your HP, so having a HP boost will definitely help matters. And and it will also help with your boons as well, because it'll mean you get a HP status without sacrificing any of the others. Twisted, Howling, Paladin, no. There's the Tiamat there. Ah, there we go. Oh, bollocks. There you go. Tiamat set increases outgoing healing by 5% and incoming healing by 5%. So wisdom and charisma for the belt. So it is a good set to use. It is a good set to use, but you know, like I said, the wisdom affects more than just your healing. It also affects your critical. So, which is why I chose to go for the Great Protector set over the Tiamat set, because I mean it does, as far as healing goes, both sets work out the same. Both sets work out the same as far as healing goes, but as far as critical goes, it lowers your critical chance, which in the long run will actually increase your healing capabilities, because the paladin, you know, the paladin healer can naturally increase its critical quite well. It just hasn't got the armor pen to turn it into offense. A lot of the paladins' restoration and medic sets increase critical. Say the tank sets don't increase critical as much as the restoration ones do. So you can get a fair amount of critical blooming hit rate as a paladin healer. But that hit rate will go down, so in the long run it's better. Your healing capabilities will be better using the pure wisdom than it would splitting it between wisdom and charisma. I mean, that's my reason for choosing the set that I actually use.
There are a few things I could use your help with. All of my students were murdered by Zadal. By Moradin's hammer! I should have sent him back the moment he started muttering about voices from the deep. I hoped he was hearing the call of Gauntlgrim. Maybe that's where he fled to, but there's no time to chase him down. With my students dead, I'm going to need your help to keep this volcano from erupting. Ah, excellent! These work orders will help me piece together a map of the mines below. Grumfrux the Relentless and his fiery legion have captured the main bridge across the lava flows. Gather your party to retake the bridge. In order to stop the volcano from erupting, we need to vent the pressure. Thanks to the old work orders you collected, we know where the ancient dwarves built vents. Unfortunately, most of them have been blocked by debris. I've got a crate of mining charges here, but with my assistants all dead, I'm going to need your help to place those charges and clear those vents.
Struggling to stay awake, to be honest.
The pressure under the mountain is already subsiding. It's not a permanent fix, but it might give us enough time to stop Gummoff twisted. And not being incinerated by a volcanic eruption is a pretty good thing too. I've traced the pattern of the pressure you vented, and all events lead to a central point. A lava chamber called the Shadowfire Cavern. It makes sense. One of my prospectors reported he'd found a magma elemental there before the attacks started. He went back to investigate and never returned. If that magma elemental is under the control of Gummoff, it was probably responsible for the near eruption. It needs to be destroyed.
love jumping in the lava. Was half expected to do. I'm surprised that I didn't. Although the game's been buggy again for like some bloody reason. I need to fix it. A lot of people on level 70. For some reason, a lot of people have not been playing the game recently, waiting for them to give us the update they were supposed to give us in November. So, they're using your abilities, your character will do the action, but it's not actually using the ability. It's been happening to a lot of people, and a lot of people getting really pissed off at it, and they've pretty much been waiting. Been waiting for this update that was supposed to be here by now to fix it.
It's good to see some help. I've been trapped up here for quite a while. Fortunately for me, I always pack double rations. You need to get to Historian Thimble and the others in the camp near the bridge. Tell them that this elemental was under the control of a fire Archon general named Ignazar. I think he's got a fortress in the burning ruins. I'm going to keep mapping out the cavern and the vent system. Donnie probably thinks I'm dead, but he was always a gloomy one.
Are we lost? No, wait. Yep, definitely lost.
We must stop Gamoth and his allies, or all we've done will be ashes. So, Kalik is still alive. I figured as much. I'm not at all surprised he's still working in the cavern, despite being confronted by a Magna Elemental. Before we can press the fight against Gamoth and General Ignazar, we must first help one of our allies. The Dryad Heartleaf has been our hidden sentinel, watching enemy movements from her tree. However, some of her tree seeds were blown into the ruins, and the seedlings are now growing on dangerous ground. Recover the seedlings and bring them either to her or to me. Our work in these ruins has been greatly impeded by the actions of General Ignazar and his army of fire Archons. The ruins serve as the battlements of a fortress, from which they send forces to attack any who oppose Gamoth's plan to release their ancient master.
unfortunately. Server lag going on here today. Finish this area when I wake up. But it'll be on YouTube for you guys anyway if you miss it. So don't worry too much. I'll finish it when I wake up, and feel free to watch it live, but I'll keep my eyes open.
This is great news. Heartleaf has been a staunch ally, despite the risk to her and her tree. I'll make sure these seedlings are returned to her and replanted somewhere safer. Excellent. I had already deduced that you were a skilled combatant. Now the Fire Archons know it too. Hopefully this will give us a moment of reprieve, however slight. For that alone, you have my boundless thanks.
Please forgive me, but I will finish this video later. I'm really gonna have to go get some sleep, or I'm gonna fall asleep on streaming. So I do apologize, and I will.
We should be...